Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm still looking for Mr. Morales.
Hey, Judge, could you put Mr. Jones and I in a breakout room while we're waiting for Mr. Morales?
Certainly can.
Thank
And
you.
Your Honor, and if you put me and Ms. Hightower in a breakout room for a bit, we've spoken, but there's some follow-up stuff I needed.
Sure.
Thank you.
And Judge, I'm going to have to at some point get in the car here in a few minutes and start driving over to Pampa. So I may turn my screen off while I'm driving, if that's okay with the court.
That's preferable.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jones, Brooks, let's see. Okay, Ms. Hightower, Ms. Cero. Okay.
Thank you.
Y'all can say join those rooms.
Judge, if I could talk with my client briefly, I think Mr. Trout is looking at doing the aggravated hearing today, and I'm going to just talk to my client about that.
Okay, let me move you. Let's see. All right, Mr. Juilliard, you're going to get a prompt to go to room 3, and Mr. Morales, you can go back to 3.
Thank you.
Judge Baker, could I have like a 2-minute breakout room with Daniel if he's available? I can't see him on my screen. I believe he's here.
He is.
Yeah,
Daniel, you can go back to 3, and I'll put her in there.
all right. And Judge, when I get through speaking to Ms. Lucero, I'll just stay in that room if you'll put Brooks in there with me.
Okay.
Just for 2 seconds. Thank you.
Did you say me?
I think after he finishes talking to Ms. Lucero, I think.
Okay. All right.
Judge Baker, I'm back. Daniel is ready to speak with Brooks whenever Brooks is ready.
Okay, I'll put him in there. Okay, I think we've got everybody out of breakout rooms now.
Yes, ma'am.
Trout, I'm looking for, okay. I wanted to look at your amended petition.
And we were going to discuss that, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, let's go ahead and call the case and everything, and we'll take those issues up. All right, then, at this time, I'll call cause number 997. We're here set today on our adversary hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Brooks Barfield for Skylar Jones, present and ready, Your Honor, and Skylar is present as well.
Lorraine Lucero, on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Hightower, Your Honor, we're present and ready.
Jerry Morales on the in for respondent father Andrew Gillard, and he is present. We're ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of the girls.
Okay, thank you. All right, then, what all do we need to take up before we begin?
Your Honor, as far as the adversarial hearing today, is my understanding after talking to all parties that parties are in agreement to agree to temporary managing conservatorship to the department. Parents to work services, not ask for any child support or medical support at this time. If that is still where parties are, and that is my understanding, the only issue we amended to add in aggravated circumstances as to Mr. Gillard. I spoke to his attorney today. If the court is okay, we would ask to proceed with that hearing to get a finding in that. But other than, or if we need to reset for a different date, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Hightower and Mr. Jones are both agreeable to name the department as temporary managing conservator. You're not seeking aggravated circumstances on them, so we would be ordering service plans and reasonable efforts, correct?
Yes, ma'am. At this point, that is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Morales, what is it? I mean, I know this amended petition was just filed, looks like yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, Mr. Morales, are you ready to proceed on that, or do you
Yes,
wish
Your Honor. I
to have-
discussed that with my client. He is ready, and he's also ready to be adjudicated as a father. He's on the birth certificate, but he's pled as alleged, so he's ready to be adjudicated though.
All right. Okay, then,
And Your Honor, my understanding after speaking to Mr. Barfield, I believe Mr. Jones will be requesting a paternity test. So that is my conversation with Mr. Barfield, that he would agree, but he would be asking for a paternity test.
That is correct, Your Honor, and that any services be abated until such time as paternity is established.
okay. All right, so well, let me just ask this, Ms. Lucero and Mr. Barfield, do you all wish to remain in this hearing with your clients while we take up the request for the finding of aggravated circumstances on Mr. Gilliard?
Your Honor, I'd ask that my client be allowed to go on about his day since we are requesting the paternity testing, because till that's established, I don't really think he. I mean, if he wants to remain, that's just personally up to him. But I'd ask that the court allow him to go on about his day if he so chooses.
Are you going to remain in the hearing?
You know what? I'll probably remain in the hearing. So I know exactly what went on. So yeah, till at least I have to be in my other court. So I'll probably just stay on and listen and be quiet.
Okay, Ms. Lucero, what?
Your Honor, I believe, we'd be the same as Brooks. We'd like to remain just to see how this proceeds. But I don't believe Daniel's planning on calling my client. So, we would just kind of like to stay and observe if that's okay with the court.
Me. I just didn't know, if
Right.
you all, I mean, I was just going to address whether everybody was good with you all leaving if you wanted to. So,
Okay, I
that's
appreciate
fine.
that.
Everybody can stay however long they want. That's fine. So with respect to Ms. Hightower and Mr. Jones, then I would accept their agreement as far as naming the department as temporary managing conservator. Obviously, Mr. Gilliard is not agreeing to that. Is that correct, Mr. Morales? And he's not.
I'm sorry that he's not agreed to what?
Well, he's not agreed to the department being named as temporary managing conservator, regardless of aggravated circumstances. My question is he or is he not, as far as TMC goes, is he in agreement with that, or is there no agreement with him?
No, he's in agreement with that too, Judge.
Okay, so it's just the aggravated circumstances.
Yeah, that's the only thing we need to have a hearing on.
Okay, all right.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, if I may address one other issue, Daniel and I had discussed it yesterday. I know the children are not placed here, and that Daniel had stated that I believe the department's in agreement with the mother having virtual supervised visits with the kids, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right, Daniel?
Well, if there are going to be visitations, we're going to ask that they be virtual. At this time, we'll kind of leave it up to the court on when visitations start up. But yes, if that is what it is, they'd be supervised visits.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then, I guess then we're ready for Mr. Trout to call his first witness.
And Your Honor, before we call witness, just due to the nature of this case, if we could go off YouTube to protect privacy of the children because of what may come out during the hearings.
All right, any objection, counsel?
No
I'm in
objection.
agreement with that motion.
All right, then a motion's been made to close the courtroom to protect the privacy and confidentiality of the children who are very young in this case. And I will, and there being no objection, then I will stop the live stream and close the courtroom. We'll open the courtroom back. We're here today set for the initial permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming and Ms. Taylor's making our record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Mickey Lanes, my permanency specialist. We're present ready.
Lori Lucero, on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Hightower, Your Honor, we're present ready.
Jerry Morales on behalf of respondent, Father, Your Honor, he is in Park County Detention Center. I'm ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Ember.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Lane, I guess you're going to give us the update today.
Yes, good morning. So Ember is placed with her sister in a foster home. Her sister is currently pending results for measles, for a possible outbreak. Ember is delayed and is participating in ACI services. She does tend to have tantrums when it comes to bath time or putting on lotion, related to the possible abuse that she had received.
I'm going to object to speculation on that.
All right, it's sustained.
Mom has signed her family plan of service. She is called to start setting up services with the psychosexual education class, the psychological, counseling, and rational behavior therapy. The father on this case, we have filed aggravated circumstances on, and a family plan was not filed for him.
Okay, his mother signed her plan.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Those were signed on the 3rd and filed on April 4th.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Gilliard is in Potter County Jail on what charges at this time?
Possession of pornography under the age of 10, failure to comply with registering as a sex offender, I believe a charge on bestiality, and let me make sure I'm telling you all of the
There's
charges.
also a motion to revoke on a failed to register, Your Honor. Sorry, Mickey, for cutting you off there.
No, it's okay. I was trying to make sure I got all the charges correct.
Okay. All right. Anything else to catch us up on today?
Ms. Lane.
No, ma'am. That's
Okay.
everything I have at the moment.
Okay. All right then, Ms. Lucero.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Lane, the services are set out in Alyssa's service plan. Were you aware that she has already completed the psychosexual and psychosocial?
No, I haven't got a completion on that yet.
Okay, and would you receive that from Steve Jennings' office?
I'm sorry?
Once she's advised me that she's completed those, so you'll receive confirmation from Steve Jennings' office?
Yes, if she has.
Okay. All right then. And right now, she's visiting with the girls an hour virtually every week from 3 to 4. Well, she'll start 3 to 4 today. Is that correct?
She's had one other visit already, but yes, that's her visits
Okay.
are.
Okay. And also I know she's supposed to do a psychological through Stonebridge I believe she was waiting on, I guess, payment to be sent over, or I guess approval from your supervisor. Has that occurred, or do you know?
It has not occurred yet, but payment is pending for that session and it is scheduled.
Okay. All right. Do you know when it's scheduled for?
Not off the top of my head,
Okay,
but
you're fine.
okay.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Morales?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Zavala?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, do you have a recommendation today?
Yes, Your Honor. Ember is placed with her sister, and is doing very well in a foster home in Lubbock. And I do recommend that continue.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hightower, let me talk with you. I just want to reinforce about your service plan. So it's very important that you work these services. And I'm not suggesting that you aren't. It's just, we're very early on in the case. And so it's really important that you understand failure to work those services could result in the child not coming home, could result in termination of your parental rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So just, work your way through those. If you're having a hard time, reach out to somebody, talk with any of these folks involved. They're here to help you
Yes, ma'am.
and to help get you through this successfully. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Okay.
you.
Your Honor, could I just call her for, or I can give an update from to the court about all the services that she's already completed and she has already set up?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. So, I call Alyssa Hightower, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Hightower, raise your right hand for me. You promise to tell the truth today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, Alyssa, I'm looking at your service plan, and you part of your service plan is you're supposed to complete rational behavior training. Have you done that, or do you have that set up?
I have that set up. Troy Timmons does it, I believe, once a month. So I had to wait until his next opening. And I believe it's set up for this Wednesday.
Okay, all right. And as far as your parenting classes, have you started those?
Yes, I started them last week on Tuesday, and I plan to continue them every Tuesday.
Okay. Do you know how many classes are required? Have you been advised of that or no?
No, ma'am. I was just going to continue until even when I was told I've done enough, I was probably just going to continue because it can't hurt to have more.
Okay. And you are also part of your service plan is a psychosexual assessment. Have you completed that?
Yes, ma'am. I completed that with Steve Jennings.
Okay. And then you heard me ask Miss Lane about the psychological, and you're just waiting on confirmation from the department. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I was supposed to have done that yesterday, but because they hadn't had the payment yet, we rescheduled for, I believe, sometime next week.
Okay. And what about the psychosocial?
Psychosocial, I did at the same time as my psychosexual with Steve Jennings.
Okay. And then also you part of the service plan is a domestic violence support group. What's the status on that?
I have that scheduled today. It's an in-person class, and I'll be doing that from 4 to 5 today. I mean, sorry. Yes, it is. It's 5 to 6. I apologize. 5 to 6 today.
And again, you've got visits set up with the girls. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. From 3 to 4 every Tuesday.
All right then. And thank you. I just wanted to make sure the court was aware that you had started services and what you have already completed. I'll pass
Yes,
the
ma'am.
witness, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions they want to ask Ms. Hightower?
Just a couple of questions, Your Honor.
Sure.
Ms. Hightower, you said you had completed an assessment with Jennings already?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Did they give you a list of recommendations, or are you still waiting on that?
What do you mean by a list of
Did
recommendations?
they recommend any other counseling or sessions or anything else from that?
No, but I do know on part of my service plan, it has me doing a psychosexual education class with Steve Jennings. And I did bring that up, and he mentioned that usually that's done through Troy Timmons, but I said my work services say it's to be done through him. So as far as I know, the only thing I have right now is that education class.
Okay. But you don't know when that's gonna start?
No, not yet. I do not.
Okay. And since our last hearing, you were arrested on some charges also, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've been assigned an attorney on that case?
I have not, no.
Okay. All right. And you were arrested on 4 counts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Due to the nature of this case, are you still having contact with Dad?
He will attempt to call me and basically try to update me on how he's doing in there, but it's again very limited.
Your Honor, I'd ask to put Ms. Hightower under oath.
He is.
Yes.
Ms. Hightower, if I were to tell you I have access to jail calls and messages,
Okay.
would you rephrase your answer on how limited that contact is?
It's, sorry, I'm trying to find a way to word this. We probably talk more than we should.
Would you say daily?
Just about. And I have been trying to, it was a lot more at the beginning, and I have been trying to cut back the calls as much as I can as this goes on.
Okay. So your statement a while ago about very limited was completely false.
I apologize, yes.
Okay. So since we've been in this case, it's been daily contact.
Just about, yes, sir.
Do you understand? And we can't tell you who you can and can't talk to, but you understand where that's a problem in this case.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions for Ms. Hightower?
No, Your Honor.
All right, quick question. What counts was she arrested on, Mr. Trout?
She has 4 counts of bestiality, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Hightower, you're out on bond, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hightower, let me just tell you something right now. We're early in this game, but when I put you under oath and you swear and promise and take that oath to tell me the truth, you better be sure you tell me the truth from now on.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize.
I mean, you got to understand you're under a microscope and you've got criminal cases pending. And, it does you no good to get caught lying to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
And, you really, 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 really need to do some big, deep soul searching about what direction you want your life to go from here on out.
Yes, ma'am.
Because from where I sit, you are very much at a crossroads. The rest of your life is in the balance on what you do, not only in this case, but obviously in those other cases. But the only thing I have any control over is this case. And
Yes.
I'm just telling you, you better decide what's more important in your life, this child or this man.
Yeah.
So it's a little like being an alcoholic. At some point you have to just say, I'm not going to take another drink. You got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Rip the Band-Aid off, however you want to phrase it. But, continuing your contact with him is not going to do you a bit of good. So it's time to look after yourself Put your interests first. Because right now you don't have the child. So you better be looking out for your best interest. And when you manage to do that, then maybe you can start looking at what's in the best interest of the child.
Yes, ma'am.
But right now you have the luxury of not, having the child with you or not having to care for the child, not having to do that on a day-to-day basis. So you've got time right now to zero in on yourself, and I suggest you use it wisely.
Yes, ma'am, of course. Thank you.
All right, then I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'm going to continue the child's current placement. I find a continuing danger to return the child home at this time. Obviously, the department will use reasonable efforts with the mother under the service plans to try to reunify them. I'm going to order those services. I'm looking back. Did we do a status hearing order on her?
Not on this case, Your Honor.
Yeah.
When we filed for the aggravated, we set
Right.
the permanency.
Okay. I want it to be clear and a part of this order, though, that I'm ordering her services as an order of the court, since she is actively working a service plan.
And Your Honor,
Go ahead, Ms. Lucero.
I apologize, Your Honor. I just wanted to make sure that I had it in my notes and I forgot to mention it. Miss Hightower had given a name of some folks to possible placement for the children for a home study, and I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page with the department or St. Francis, that they're doing a home study on those individuals.
Ms. Lang?
I reached out to Tanya May. She was going to get with her husband and talk about possibly doing looking into long-term if they would be okay with that. And she just got back to me this morning stating they would be, and I told her I would get it started.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
In Your Honor, just for the court, on this order that was drafted, what normally goes into a status order as far as the services was put into this current order. So we did accommodate on that.
Okay. All right. Very good. I just wanted to make sure those I's were dotted and T's were crossed.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor,
Okay.
I'm all in favor of any home studies. I would just ask that the girls not be moved until there's an agreement or a court order.
Right. I'm good with that. All right, so I will make that a part of this order. No change in child's placement. Unless an agreement or order. Okay, then I'm going to see everybody back June 24th of 2025. That's when we've set the final in this case. So you have lots to do, Ms. Hightower, before that time. Okay, I'll see everybody back in June.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a status hearing, and if I could have announcements, please.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Mickey Lane is my permanency specialist. We're both present, ready, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Lauren Lucero, on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Hightower, Your Honor, as I stated previously, she may try to join here after a bit. Your Honor, I'd like to take the time to ask if we could possibly go off YouTube. At one of our last hearings regarding my client, someone recorded it and is following this case and put it on YouTube, but with additional information. So I'm not sure what the testimony is going to consist of today, but I would ask that we go off YouTube.
Any objections from anyone?
Objection.
Your Honor, I don't really have any objection on it. Usually when it comes to parents, I don't usually ask for that. If it comes to information about the child or the children, then I usually do. But other than that, I'm not sure if we'll really get into any of that today, but I have no objection other than that, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
No objection, and there might be some information. So I would actually prefer it.
Okay,
That's what I was asking, Your Honor, because from the last hearing, there was information about the children and everything put all over TikTok, so.
Ms. Morales, are you expecting your client to
Yes,
join today?
I had, Your Honor. Last I spoke to him, he was still at the Potter County Detention Center waiting to pull chain, but I don't know that he has since. I think it's been about a week and a half since I talked to him.
Did we have orders out to the jail to have him on today? We did, I think, didn't we, Miss Katie, just by phone?
Yes, Judge, I sent an order.
And I think because we didn't know what time frame we were gonna have, we went ahead and told them not Zoom, but by telephone in case we needed him, because they'll only provide us so much time by Zoom. Mr. Morales, you want to try to call out to the jail?
I will do that, Judge. Absolutely.
Okay, all right, so everybody just hang on. Those of you who've been with me all morning, if y'all need to step away real quick, go ahead and do that.
Judge, I just got an update on that. The arraignment officer, I guess apparently was out on vacation for a week and I had a little frustration because I guess he didn't get the message or whatever. And so he's going to get it set up, but it might take a few minutes.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate the update. Thank you. We're here today on an interlocutory termination hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. It's also necessary because Mr. Gilliard is in the Potter County Detention Center, and we do have him appearing by phone today. Because of time restrictions, we opted to have him put on telephone instead of by Zoom because they were going to limit how much time we could have with him. So this seemed to be the better option. All right, then. We are live streaming and Ms. Goodman is making our record. So we will go ahead and take announcements, and then if there's any pretrial motions, we'll hear those.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor. I would go ahead and make a motion to go off YouTube just due to the nature of some of the testimony we'll have today.
Maureen Lucille, on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Hightower, Your Honor, we're present, ready.
Jerry Morales on behalf of respondent father, Andrew Gillard, he is present. We are ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
All right, let me just ask Ms. Lucero, any objection to stopping the live stream today?
Objection.
And Mr. Morales,
No objection.
Ms. Zavala?
No objection.
All right, court is fully aware that there may be some very sensitive information that will come out in testimony today. So to protect the child's privacy and confidentiality, I am going to close the courtroom. I think it is most appropriate, and I will stop the live stream at this point in time. I'll resume that live stream for our one in each case for a review hearing. Go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the department. Mickey Lane is my premises specialist. We're present, ready.
Maureen Lucero, on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Hightower, Your Honor, we're present, ready. At this time, I would request that, I'm not sure what testimony will be coming in today, but I would ask if the court for the court to consider going off YouTube today, Your Honor. If there's someone, I'm not going to say like a stalker or whatever, but that's following this case and posting things online. And so I would just ask the court to consider for us to go off YouTube.
But we'll go ahead and finish announcements, and then I'll take that up.
Okay, thanks.
Barfield for Skylar Jones. I believe he has, well, I know he's been sent the Zoom information. I don't see him here, but I am ready to proceed.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the girls.
Okay. All right. Motion has been made to go off of YouTube. Let me ask if there's objections to that.
I don't necessarily have any objections to it, Your Honor. I don't know that we're going to get into any of the issues that we need to keep from as far as the children. But outside of that, I don't have any objection, Your Honor.
I don't have an objection, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, let's just handle it this way. We'll continue the live stream, but if anybody's going to ask a question or thinks that it's going to prompt an answer that has to do with privacy issues regarding the children, anything that could be a real breach of confidentiality regarding the children and health, or items of sensitive nature, then I need that to be called to my attention in a timely fashion. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, then. Ms. Lane, we'll look to you to give us an update. Same for you. Same rules apply to you. If you're going to get into anything, not just the lawyers, same rules apply to everybody. Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Lane, if just as Judge said, if you're going to mention anything that could be of sensitive nature, let us know so we can get off YouTube. If not, give us your update.
The updates I have for the girls is Holly is participating in therapy with Leanne with fever. I haven't got a recent update for that yet. It just started. Leanne actually moved her schedule around to get Holly in to continue therapy. Ember had her first physical therapy appointment this morning at 9:30 at Turning Point. They are expecting her to participate in physical therapy for the next 6 months. They don't think she'll last 6 months. And placement is getting a pediatrician referral stating that physical therapy is more than likely the only service Ember will need moving forward. Other than that, the girls are doing amazing. They are, from my understanding with placement, they are starting to lose interest on Zoom with mom during visitation now. It was doing really well for them. The visits have been going easy. There's not been any more concerns like there have been prior. And so those visits are going well, other than the girls are just very young and starting to lose interest in visiting time. Mom does take advantage of the whole hour as much as she can. Even if they don't interact, she does love to touch them and participate. Mom has completed parenting, domestic violence, RBT, a psychosexual evaluation. She's continuing in domestic violence despite completing everything August 12th. She's continuing in parenting despite her completion of August 12th. She's participating in counseling with Stephen Jennings at the Jennings office. She's fully engaged in her services. She's very communicative. She also recently got a new job. She has her own housing that was gifted to her by her grandparents. She doesn't have a car payment or a house payment. She only focuses on utilities. I think mom did do 2 drug screens on 2 separate occasions. June 29th, she did a hair and a UA, both negative. August 11th, she did a UA, which was negative. I sent Skylar Jones a new family plan of service. He's been offered visitation with our family support worker, Tristan Sutterfield. Due to his employment and his living situations, he has stated he would rather Holly go with mom in this case. And if he wants to take Holly, he would not want to take Ember. He is not really engaged in communicating. He does work at Nissan McGavin's and doesn't get off till 6 p.m. He stated he wouldn't be able to do visitations after 6 p.m. But the girls' schedules, they kind of go to bed, so it's running into an issue there. But he hasn't engaged in any of that at this time. And that's about where I'm at with this on updates.
Ms. Ms. Lane, have you been able to talk to Mr. Jennings?
Yes, sir, I have.
Has therapy with him been going well?
Yes, sir, it has.
Okay. Does he have any concerns on or issues that they have not broached or that they are he's working on with mom?
He is working with mom on
And you don't, if it's going to be a sense of the nature, you don't have to say it. Just, is there situations that he's needing mom to open up more about, or is everything going fine?
he's actually working with mom. She's from my understanding from Lynn Jennings and the update I got is mom is very cooperative in services, and she is working on recognizing predators and how to handle moving forward.
Okay. And Your Honor, I know we wanted Mr. Jennings here today. I did send an email to everybody yesterday. I did kind of get confused. I did subpoena Mr. Jennings last week. I had not heard from him. I tried to get in touch with him. He is still his counseling service, but he also does some faculty teaching. He is changing to colleges, and he is in a mandatory onboarding this week. And he's out of town, so he was unavailable to be here today. So that is why he is not here to be able to give us an update on this.
Okay. All right, I saw that.
And with that, Your Honor, at this time, I have no further questions of Ms. Lane, just right now.
Ms. Lane, in her service plan, did we put a number of counseling sessions in there or not?
Usually when we do, it's about 6, but she's continuing at this point, per the therapist recommendations, and she plans on continuing with him. She's seen this counselor when she was a child as well, so they have a long-standing history.
All right. I really want her to continue with counseling through the pendency of the case, or until counselor, absolutely releases her. So our normal 6 sessions versus 12 sessions or something, I want her to continue until released or throughout the case. Okay, Ms. Lucero.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Lane, just to be clear, besides the services that she's continuing on her own or has sought out to continue, has Alyssa finished all her services?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
Okay, and she's been cooperative with you throughout?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
Okay, and at this time, what is the goal in each of the cases?
They are I believe relative adoption concurrent with unrelated adoption.
Okay. Do you know whether or not the department, I know it's not your decision, but the staffing and all that, do you see any pathway for that for it to be a goal change to reunification?
I was actually planning on staffing with my supervisor. Actually, I was going to wait for this hearing to see how everything went so that I could staff with my superiors and see if we can possibly get the goals changed.
Okay. And as far as the visits with the girls, they're going well, but being as young as they are, it's kind of hard to keep them engaged for the whole hour. Is that what the issue is?
Yes.
Okay. So there hasn't been any concerns about Alyssa's behaviors or anything like that. Is that correct?
Correct.
And as far as her being able to move into in-person visits, would y'all need to get like some kind of recommendation from Dr. Jennings, or I guess maybe come back for another hearing to just address that issue?
Or
do you know?
I don't know.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No, I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Okay. All right then. And then just to be clear, is Alyssa visiting both girls at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is it 1 hour per week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would it be possible, or do you know, or would you have to staff it while the court decides whether or not she can move into in-person visits? Would it be possible to, if her schedule allows and placement schedule allows, to break it up maybe into 2 30-minute visits a week as opposed to one hour visit? I mean, is that possible?
For the virtual, if it stays
Yeah,
virtual?
if it's virtual, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, I could talk to our FSW about possibly doing that.
Okay. All right then. I'll pass the witness.
Is Lane, did we get any, or have we gotten any input from Dr. Jennings about virtual versus in-person visitation? Are we waiting? I mean, I know one child just started with Leanne, so are we? I mean, has he made any recommendation about that at this point in time?
None of the counselors have made any recommendations regarding that at this time.
Okay.
It has not been brought up to them either.
Okay.
And Your Honor, and that's what I wanted to make sure. I know you're asking if that, I don't believe that's been approached with Mr. or Dr. Jennings, just because we thought maybe he'd be here today. So I'm hopeful that the court will consider maybe either having a hearing on that issue, or at least maybe possibly getting a recommendation from him, by email or letter or whatever. But I'll pass the witness, Shirley.
Okay. Mr. Barfield,
Yes.
anything today?
Well, I just have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So yeah, have you heard from Skylar Jones?
No, sir. I've reached out a couple of times, but it's far and few between responses.
Okay, because it's my understanding that the paternity test came back, he is the father. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And another reason I ask is my office, we've tried to send text, phone calls, and we have gotten no response. So I'm just trying to figure out if you've heard, if he changed phone numbers, or if you've heard from him.
Alyssa did provide me a new number for Skylar. He is in contact with her. My understanding is Skylar's kind of not really wanting to deal with St. Francis or the CPS case, but I will keep trying.
Would you send me that phone number in an email, please, so that my office can do what we need to do to notify him of what happens if he decides to just flake out of this thing?
Yes, sir. I absolutely will.
Okay. That's all the questions I have, Judge.
Okay. All right then, Ms. Zavala.
No questions, Your Honor. Are you ready for my information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I met in person with the girls. They're doing really good. And that counseling has started with Miss Lefevre. They had a visit with grandparents, and although the girls are very young, it is very important to me that the grandparents and anybody visiting with the child not make statements like, "You will be home by Christmas." That needs to be stopped. And it probably was unintentional. But I would ask that those kind of statements not be made to the girls. But they are doing very well, and I'm really glad that everybody's in therapy right now.
Okay, I'm assuming probably grandparents have already been corrected, but if not, we sure need to make them aware.
I do have one more thing. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Alyssa, Skylar's mother has reached out and has asked for visitation with both girls. And this has happened just this week since I've been back.
So I thought I'd bring that up too. That paternal grandma on Holly's side is requesting visitation too.
Okay, have we done any kind of background check on her or anything?
No, ma'am, not at this point.
All right, Ms. Zavala, any objection to that if we check her out and
No, in terms of like the regular kind of grandparent visitation schedule, I'm fine with that as long as she's also informed of the rules and things like that. But as long as she's appropriate, I'm fine with that contact.
she requests visits with just Holly or with both children?
Both children.
Has she had a past relationship with both children? I see mom shaking her head affirmatively, so. Okay, all right. Okay, as long as everything checks out okay, then I don't have a problem with her having some periodic access.
And Judge, if you don't mind, Miss Lane, if you don't mind, if anybody doesn't object, if you could give me the grandparents' contact information as well, that may assist me in contacting my client.
Absolutely.
I guess I would just say before any in-person visit is scheduled to hear from the counselors.
Yeah. All right, so I would like to give Ms. Lefevre, enough time to kind of get going with Holly. But so maybe a hearing in that regard could be held in, 30 days or something like that. Today we're going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I'll continue the girls' placement. I am going to order that the family plan of service be amended to provide that mother will continue in individual counseling until she is released or through the pendency of the case. I'm going to continue the virtual visitation with mom, but let's break them into 2 30-minute segments a week so that hopefully we've got a little more, just a little more focus. The kids are young, so an hour is difficult. Okay, it looks like Miss Katie was proposing a hearing on this, maybe September 18th on a 9:00 docket. Everybody can take a look at that and see if that works. But we'll need to check to see if I guess both therapists could be available.
And Judge, that would be me present, subject to whether I'm out of a murder trial or not. If not, I'll get coverage if it's a big deal for everybody else.
Okay, that'd be great. If that date works for everybody else.
Yeah, I don't want to hang that up because I on that type of hearing, so I could get coverage.
I think
That works for me, Your Honor. I'm here that morning anyway, so.
I think that should work for me.
Okay, we'll schedule that subject to you want to set that last on the docket that day?
Judge, we have a final that morning as well. So, I just don't know how long the final will take. If it goes to final, I don't know if this case will even go to final.
What about either sitting at first right at 9, or should we push to the afternoon?
We could do it first right at 9. We only have 3 hearings that morning. It's a very light docket. I just don't know about the final.
All right. We could devote possibly as much as an hour to this, maybe.
Yes, Judge, that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. All right. 9:00 it is on September 18th. That'll make it easier for our 2 experts as well, I would think.
And Judge, I'll reach out. I know, like I said, I know Dr. Jennings is changing which schools he's going to be faculty on. So I don't know what his schedule is going to be yet, but I will check with them and see where he stands on all that.
Okay, make sure they know it'll be by Zoom. That'll help them. They can do it from wherever they're at.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I ask, let's say on that date, it works for, Ms. LaFever, but not for Dr. Jennings. I mean, could he at least send in a written recommendation since he's the one dealing directly with Alyssa? I'd hate to have to be putting it off if both, if they're both not, if they're not both available that day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. The only thing is you guys don't have any opportunity to ask them questions,
Right.
But I suppose, worst case scenario, they could do that, but I'm it's just,
I understand.
just doesn't give you guys the opportunity to cross-examine them. So,
And that's
Let's
right,
see.
because I guess if he was opposed, I probably would want to hear him, but if it was,
yeah, I know.
So,
It depends
okay.
what they're
Right.
gonna say, but
right.
so let's see if we can't make it work. Obviously, I think they both know well enough. I'll try to get them in and out as quickly as I can.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, very good. Then, I'll see everybody back then, and our trial date is scheduled for December 16th of 2025. That's on a 9:00 docket.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, continue.
Judge, only one of the cases is set for final.
Oh, that's right. That's just Ember's case.
Yes.
No, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, just Ember's case, and Holly's is set for review that date.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. Yeah, my apologies. Thank you, Ms. Kay. All right. I'll see you back on that date for sure, but I'll see you before then. So, Mr. Jackson, I'm assuming you're Mr. Barfield today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm still looking for Ms. Lucero. There's Mr. Jones. So, Mr. Jackson, your client's logging in.
Okay.
Okay, let me just ask, and then Ms. LaFever, good morning. We're gonna try to, I know you're somewhere else up here in the building. What does it look like for you, your schedule?
I apologize, I was muted. I'm third on this case, so I'm comfortable. I'm good. So please do what's
Good
best
right
for you.
now?
Mhm,
Okay.
yeah, I'm here, but I'm third. There's two other therapists before me, and we're long-winded, so it'll take a minute. Tell me I'm lying. I'm not lying.
Compared to the legal world, you guys are like a breath of fresh air.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I see the looks on your faces. I see you guys dissociate when we're just going at it crazy.
You didn't see the court reporter nodding her head like, oh yeah.
It's true. We need to shut up sometimes.
No, I think she was meant that towards lawyers.
Oh,
Yeah, that was for the lawyer.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. All right, then we'll go ahead and get started so we can get some folks out of here as soon as we can. All right, then, cases. We are here today on each case on a special setting regarding in-person visitation with the mother, Alyssa Hightower. This is kind of a continuation of a hearing that we started back on August 19th. Visitation was also an issue that day, and I think we really wanted to hear from our experts. And so I would, generally speaking, I would call this a continuation. Everybody kind of agree with that? Okay. All right. Okay, then we are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We've kind of got everybody spread out this morning, so I appreciate everybody doing this by Zoom. We are live streaming, which we'll probably take up at some point, but we are right now, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements, and then we'll see if there's any other motions we need to take up.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Maureen Lucero for the mother, Alyssa Hightower in both cases, Your Honor. We're both present, ready.
Joel Jackson for the father, Skylar Jones, on behalf of Brooks Barfield, present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the girls.
Okay, thank y'all. All right, then, Ms. Lucero, this is all really sort of your motion. I know that, Mr. Trout's the one that actually subpoenaed probably Ms. LaFever and, Mr. Jennings this morning, but, because of their schedule, we may need to take some things out of order. So, Mr. Trout, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to call a witness, and then we'll kind of reevaluate and see if we can take Dr. Jennings next, and then go from there.
And Your
Yeah.
Honor, I don't, you said we were live streaming. I don't know exactly, what we're going to get into today. So, my concern is, if we could consider taking this off YouTube.
And Your Honor, although what's being discussed is not specific to the children's behavior, I do think because of their privacy concerns, I would like this to go off of YouTube as well.
Okay.
All right, any objection, counsel?
No, ma'am.
No objection.
Okay. All right. The court deems that we may get into, or I'm anticipating we may get into some very, very sensitive topics that I think directly impact the children. And so I think it's very appropriate to close the courtroom for this hearing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and stop the live stream. I'll restart that. Okay, we're here on review hearings. In each case, we are conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Taylor's making our record this morning. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Angela Tidwell is my permanency specialist. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Maureen Lucero on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Hightower. We're both present, ready.
Brooks Barfield for Skylar Jones, present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the girls.
All right, thank y'all. Before we get started with me swearing in Ms. Tidwell, I did want to just call to the department's attention, even though we've done an interlocutory order of termination on Mr. Gilliard, I did indicate at that time that Jerry, since it's an interlocutory order, that Jerry would be given notice of the final hearing. So I'm just calling that to everybody's attention to be sure that that's done. Okay. I assume he's still in all the service contacts, but I'm not looking at that. So I just want to be sure that that was clear.
Okay.
Okay. Then, Ms. Tidwell, if you will, please unmute and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that you'll tell us the truth today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Ms. Tidwell, then if you want to go ahead and give us an update.
Yes, ma'am. Since the filing of the court reports, I can tell you that Holly and Ember, they're doing wonderful in their current placement. They are still placed with Miss Mabe. Her daughter, Emily Jackson, has since turned 21 years of age, and we've ordered a home study for possible placement change. We did discuss it with Ms. Zavala to make sure that that was okay with her, since she's their girl's attorney, and that is the intended placement for permanency at this time. As far as Mr. Jones, Skylar Jones, he has met with me, and there's not been any issues with him meeting with me. I have discussed with him trying to set up visits between him and Holly, and he's not necessarily denied that he doesn't want to have visits with Holly. He just expresses that at this time he's not in a position to care for Holly, and that he would not be willing to change his work schedule to have these visits with Holly. So I did instruct him, to reach out to his attorney to see what what advice his attorney could give him legally as far as the relationship between him and Holly moving forward. And with Alyssa, there really hasn't been much change. She still has her virtual visits with the girls. It's been reported to me that Holly engages well with Alyssa during the visits. Ember, since she's so little, she only engages for about 5 to 10 minutes in the visits. Alyssa did state that she's having a hard time finding employment, and she stated that she believes it's due to her current criminal charges, but she stated that she's still putting in applications and trying to find employment. She has completed all services, and she is still attending therapy with Mr. Jennings.
Are the visits with Holly, did you say, are those therapeutic?
They are not therapeutic, they're virtual. I do have a staffing set up with my director. We're wanting to discuss possible in-person therapeutic visits with Leanne and the girls.
Okay, so those have not started yet.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Tidwell, you stated the home study had started. Where are we in that process on that home study?
Monty and Associates went out there to Emily's property last week, and so we're just waiting for that to come back from them. So Peyton, my supervisor, can go through it and submit it to Jessica for approval, our director.
Okay. And as far as that home study and possible placement there, have you had that discussion with Mom?
Yes.
Okay. And is that something she's okay with looking at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so she's well aware that that's kind of where we're looking right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Is there anything to request of the court today, moving forward right now?
No, sir.
Okay. Just kind of continue the status quo right now till we get that home study finished up and then see where we step, and waiting on the therapeutic visits.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you talked to, as far as the therapeutic visits, have you spoken with, you said Miss Lefevre?
Yes.
Okay. And she's willing to do these?
She is willing. Yes, sir.
Okay. Does she have a time frame on when she could start working these in?
She said she could start as possibly as early as December, January.
Okay. All right. Well, when was your last conversation with her about these?
It was through an email, and that was about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, possibly. I don't have the exact date. My apologies.
Okay. And when is your staffing with your director and them two?
Yeah, we just have to have director approval, and that is tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I'll pass it with you.
Okay, but the goal is still unrelated adoption?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Lucero, do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. Ms. Tidwell, at the last hearing that we had, Judge Baker had ordered that if Ms. Lefevre, whenever or if Ms. Lefevre was okay with therapeutic visits, that we could move into that. Do you recall that?
No, ma'am. My apologies.
Okay, so you don't, and I know that we've changed workers, but you were here at the last hearing, right?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Okay, and then I've reached out to you since the last hearing to inquire about Ms. Lefevre's recommendation. Isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and it's been over a month ago that Miss Lefevre said it was okay to move into therapeutic visits, correct?
She stated that this month it was okay. She had spoke with Michaela Kirksey, I believe, at the beginning of December. I don't know the exact date.
Well, and I can't look through my email right now, but I believe that I had reached out to y'all and it was okay sometime in November. It's been over a month ago.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I guess what I'm not understanding, I understand that, and it's not you, but I understand y'all's procedures, y'all have to staff pretty much everything to move forward. But if the judge ordered for those to start, why does it have to be staffed and still approved by Jessica Hoskins? I'm not understanding that.
Because the visit's going from virtual to in person. And maybe there was a misunderstanding. I didn't realize that Judge Baker had ordered that. And if I had realized that, that's probably just my error. We can move forward with that. But it's also my understanding that I have to also have permission from my director. And we were going to stop that in November, as you recall. I do believe we did discuss that. But it was the week of Thanksgiving, so it got moved to tomorrow. But I can definitely move forward with that if that was something the judge ordered.
Okay. And as far as you stated that Alyssa has okay, and let me back up a little bit. So when those virtual visits start, I mean not virtual, therapeutic visits start, it's going to be with both girls. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And right now y'all are trying to set up to see how often those are going to happen. Is it going to be, do you have any idea if it's going to be weekly, every 2 weeks, or what type of visits?
When I discussed it with Alyssa, I discussed that we would have to see what works with Leanne's schedule and that we would definitely set up a monthly in-person therapeutic visit. And then we would continue her weekly virtual visits.
But if possible, if you can keep me in the loop, can we look at more than one time a month for therapeutic visits between Alyssa and the girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And as far as her services, you stated that Alyssa's done everything. She's continued to see Dr. Jennings just to work through things that the judge had ordered that she needed to focus on herself. And I'm not sure if you were the worker at the time that we had that hearing, but do you have it in your notes somewhere that Judge Baker was, had stated that it'd be good for her to now focus on any trauma that she's had in the past and continue to see Steve Jennings?
Yes, ma'am, I do recall that.
Okay. And I think I asked you at the last hearing when we were all here, as far as the department's view, and like I said, I know y'all staff everything. Is there anything that Alyssa can do for there to be a goal change, or is Ms. Hoskins and whoever is part of staffing, are they just locked down that it's going to be seeking termination?
So after talking with Michaela Kirksey, which she's no longer my supervisor, she's still with St. Francis, she brought it to my attention that we could staff for a goal change, but on our end, we would never see fit that it would be in the girls' best interest for reunification. And I do believe that she had a conversation with you regarding on what direction we would like to move in with this case. And I don't believe she spoke about termination.
Right. All right, then. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Barfield, you have any questions for Ms. Tidwell?
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, just so I can clarify the conversations you had with Skylar, he indicated that did you ever ask him if he wanted to voluntarily relinquish his parental rights?
No, sir. I am not at liberty to do that.
Okay, and that's fine, and I understand why, and I appreciate that. In regards to what did he indicate to you, just for my clarity, what did he indicate to you he'd be willing to do in this case?
He really didn't indicate what he was willing to do. He just stated that at this time, he's not able to care for Holly at this time financially. He's never stated that he didn't want to have visits. He's just stated that he will not change his work schedule and that he works 6 days a week. So there's really been no indication about what he's willing to do.
Okay. And did he indicate to you what work he does?
Yes, sir. He works for a car dealership for Ford, I believe. And he did state to me that his job actually helps his mental health and he enjoys going to work every day and he looks forward to work. So that's another reason why he doesn't want to, change his schedule.
Let's just assume for the sake of argument that I have a conversation with him and he indicates, well, I don't want to have my rights terminated or relinquish. Has he worked any services?
No, he stated he will not work services and he will not sign a service plan, a family plan of service.
Okay. And so at this point, is it your, not you personally, but your position, that his rights, if he doesn't get with the program, so to speak, that his rights should be terminated?
That is definitely a possibility, sir.
And at this point, is that the stated goal in this case?
Yes, it will be.
Okay. And you understand I'm asking these questions so that I can have a very frank conversation with my client.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. That's all the questions I have, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Vala?
I have no questions of Ms. Tidwell.
Okay. All right, Mr. Trout, do you have any further questions for her?
Judge, not necessarily a question for Ms. Tidwell at this point. I know there was some discussion about kind of what all was ordered at the last hearing as far as the visitations. I thought I had seen a letter or email from Ms. Lefevre. I can't find it right now in my email, but that's what I've been trying to find. I do know that as far as the docket entry from the court at the last hearing, which was a hearing on in-person visits,
Right.
the only statement in the docket entry states no change in visitation. I think there was some talk on the recommendation from Ms. Lefevre and how we would move forward at that point. But I don't think it was actually court ordered to go that direction right now. And that's probably where Ms. Tidwell was getting confused on that.
I went back and I went back to look at my notes too with this discussion and I don't have that I ordered that we would go into therapeutic visits at the time. I think that kicked that to the therapist.
Yes, ma'am. That was my understanding. I'll say you're right.
Okay. All right, then. Does anybody have any further questions for Ms. Tidwell?
I do not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Lucero, anything that we need to talk about today?
Your Honor, as far as what you just stated, that you would kick it to the therapist, it was my understanding in that hearing that you were going to leave it up to Ms. Lefevre, and if she was okay with it, then therapeutic visits could start. Am I incorrect there? Or?
You're not incorrect. I mean, I basically left that when Ms. Lefevre thought it was okay and time to start in-person visits, then we could move that direction.
Okay. And that's what I was confused on. And I'd reached out to Ms. Tidwell, and she does always respond when I reach out to her. It's just that, again, another month has passed since Ms. Lefevre said she was okay with, starting up, in-person visits, and then we know our therapeutic visits, and we know when things get staffed, it just kicks it on down. And I just think that time is just going by. And I know what the department's position is regarding my client, but I would like, to see those, and she would like to see those therapeutic visits start as soon as possible.
If Ms. Lefevre has indicated that she is good with starting them, then we're going to start them.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, she's a very busy individual.
Yes.
But if she says she'll do it, she will. So, okay.
And as far as those visits, Your Honor, and regarding my questions to Ms. Tidwell earlier, could those be more than once a week? I mean, more than once a month if Ms. Lefevre's schedule permits it?
I'm fine with that. I think it's going to really depend on what
her.
She can do. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, theoretically, we may be rolling the child's therapy into therapeutic visits. I don't know, but she may think that she needs to continue with her on an individual basis too. So,
okay.
We'll just have to see what she can do. Okay. All right. Mr. Barfield, anything for you to talk about today?
No, I think I I think my questions made it pretty clear what I'm going to be doing in this case. So I'll explain to my client that he needs to either get going, or the consequences could be not advantageous regarding parental rights.
All right, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, I am on board with whatever Ms. LaFever says, in terms of how often, what format, all of that. So I am good with whatever she says the visitation should be. I'm also interested to see Emily's home study. Emily plays a regular role in taking care of the girls. She's been over there several times when I've been over there. And I know that they are very comfortable with her. I would still like to see the home study once it comes in. But I'm open to that change if it all looks good. And the girls are doing very well.
Okay. So certainly Ms. Zavala needs to see that. All right then. So today we will continue the department, as temporary managing conservator. We will continue the girls' placement. I would find a continuing danger to return the children home at this time to any of the parents. I find that Ms. Hightower is in compliance with her family plan of service. And that Mr. Jones is not. I'll see everybody back for our final, which is scheduled for February 26th of 2026. This is obviously a case that should go to mediation.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to order you all to do that before February 15th.
And Your Honor, I wanted to add, there's a big possibility that I'll be filing. It depends on how the visits go and things like that. I'll be filing to request an extension in the case.
Sure, I would be anticipating that.
Okay.
So, but in light of the fact that it is set, then, or both cases are set, then if we're going to mediate, we want to do it before February 15th.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all very much, and everybody's free to go. I'll see you back then.
Thank you. Judge, may I speak to Ms. Tidwell and Ms. Sim in a room real quick?
We're here today for our final. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and Ms. Taylor's making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present, ready, Your Honor.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of respondent mother Jessica Davidson. My client is not present, but I'm ready.
Maureen,
Your Honor,
guardian ad litem for the mother, Jessica Davidson, Your Honor, I'm present, ready.
Your Honor, I'm Tate Eldridge. I represent the father, Henry Royce. I'm present. I haven't heard from him, so I'm assuming he's not present.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Joshua.
Okay, thank y'all. All right, then. Mr. Trout, who's your first witness?
Mercedes Hodge, Your Honor.
Okay, and just quickly for the record, both parents were served. Let's see.
I don't believe Dad was ever served, Your Honor. He is an alleged dad, and we have never, I don't believe we've ever found him.
I think by publication, correct?
Let me see.
Yeah, he looks like.
I know publication, we did publication on mom.
Okay,
But dad, like I said, dad's alleged,
okay,
we never have found him.
okay. All right, then, you said Ms. Hodge is your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Hodge, if you'll unmute for me.
And how are you familiar with that case?
I was an investigator that worked the case when he was placed with us, with the department.
How did the department become involved in the case with this child?
We received an investigation. The first investigation came in September of 23 with concerns for mom's mental health. And then I had gotten another investigation while it was open to family-based services in March. And that was for concerns with law enforcement going out to the home due to some concerning behavior with mom's mental health.
Okay. You said the case was first opened in September. Did the department attempt to work with family-based with mom and do some services with her?
Yes, family-based did attempt to work services with mom.
Okay. And have you seen notes and reports on that from that investigation and when they were working with her?
Yes.
Okay. Did mom work her services? Was she working with y'all or cooperating through that time?
She was not cooperative.
Okay. And then you said you received a report in March, correct?
Yes.
Of 2024.
Yes.
What was that report in regards to?
Law enforcement was called to her home. There was concern that she was saying she was being assaulted, but there was no one else in the home with her. Once the neighbors came over to check on her, no one else was in the home. So it was unclear if she was being assaulted really, or if there was any drug use or anything like that. That was kind of taking a toll on her mental health. It was unclear of what mom was going through, and there was no one else there to care for the baby.
Okay. When you were you able to meet with mom at her apartment?
I was not. Once she was taken, once the officers arrived, she was taken to the hospital right after, before I had arrived to the home.
Okay. Were you able to meet with her at the hospital?
I tried to talk to her, but I couldn't have a clear conversation with her.
Okay. Did you ever see the inside of mom's apartment?
I did, yes.
Okay. And what was the condition of the apartment when you saw it?
It was very cluttered. There was feces everywhere. There was trash everywhere. There wasn't any floor area for baby to be. The only area that was available was the playpen itself, which wasn't as clean as it should be, but that was the only space in the apartment that he could be safe at.
And at the time, how old was Joshua?
I don't remember.
Was he less than a year?
Yes.
Okay. So he was still crawling around?
Yes.
Okay. And you stated that clutter and feces on the floor, so it was not a safe and sanitary environment for him to be crawling around?
Correct.
You said you weren't able to have a cohesive conversation with mom. What was said during that conversation? How was mom?
I know mom, she was stating she wasn't able to fully, I think she said she wasn't able to care for him anymore. And she was already wanting to decide on him going somewhere else, that she needed time to kind of handle what she was going through. I don't think she exactly knew what that was, but she knew she was struggling.
Okay. Did she seem just to be at her end as far as mentally, kind of a mental break?
Yes.
What else did you notice about mom at that time? Let me ask you this way. Did she state anything about her health? Did she have any diagnosis? Did she have anything going on with her?
I know she talked about having PTSD. She talked about her not being able to care for him because of the pain in her head or her ears, his crying. She said he would cry too much and that would affect her head and she wasn't able to care for him, and that he would cry excessively, that she couldn't kind of get that under control because of her own, what she had going on.
Okay. Did she state that she was having trouble maintaining her own health?
Yes.
And that you stated she said she was having trouble caring for Joshua.
Yes.
Did mom, during your investigation or during the prior workup through FBSS, did y'all learn who a possible dad was in this case?
Not that I recall.
Okay. But y'all had no family in this area?
Not in this area, no.
Okay. Did mom have any prior CPS history?
Yes, it was brought to our attention that she had, I believe it was 6 children previously that was removed from her care and placed with family or other people outside of the state of Texas.
Okay. And do you remember what state that was?
Minnesota.
Did y'all have any contact with any of the placements or family in Minnesota?
Yes, we called them the other family members. I think it was a grandparent and an aunt that had her other children.
Okay. Were there concerns of possible drug use from mom?
Yes.
Okay. Had mom ever reported to you what type of drugs she would use? Did y'all discuss this?
I do not remember.
Okay. So mom was in the hospital when you met with her?
Yes.
And she was unable to have the child with her at that time?
Right, yes.
We had no family in this area.
Correct.
And nowhere to place, did not know who the dad was and nowhere to place the child, correct?
Correct.
At that time, do you believe it was in the best interest of the child to request removal?
Absolutely.
Okay. After that, after the child was removed, were you able to meet with mom anymore?
No, I made a couple attempts to the home and left paperwork there for her, but I was never able to make contact again.
Where was the child placed?
I believe in a foster home. When I placed him, he was in a placement through us.
Okay, just a foster home.
Yes.
Okay. During that placement, did the child have 3-day medical?
I believe so.
Okay. Did the doctor at that time order drug screens on the child?
Yes.
Okay. During your time on the case, did the drug screens come back?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I would ask to admit exhibit number 1. It is a affidavit of business records that was filed with the court in April of 2024 in regards to the child's drug screen.
I know I saw it earlier. Hang on. All right,
I sent that email out last.
Yeah, I got it now. Did you say 4?
Exhibit number 1.
Oh, 1. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. All right. Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
All right. Petitioner's exhibit 1 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Hodge, according to that exhibit, Joshua, was he positive for anything?
Yes.
Okay.
He was positive for methamphetamines.
Okay. And at the time, he was about 6 months old?
Yes.
So we had mom who was struggling with some mental health and possible drug issues, and then the child was positive for methamphetamines.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, again, you believe is in the best interest of Joshua to remove him from mom?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Sapien?
No questions for this witness, Judge.
Mr. Eldridge?
Sorry, no questions.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further of this witness?
Just one question, Your Honor, I forgot to ask. Ms. Hodge, did mom have her initial visit with the child?
I do not believe so.
Okay. On your investigative report, page 3, it just states on March 22nd that she did come to that one. Is that correct?
Yes, it appears March 22nd that she did have her first supervised visit for an hour.
Okay. So at the beginning of the case, when you still had it, mom was kind of around and cooperating at that time. Is that correct?
Say that again.
Was mom kind of around and cooperating by the time you went off the case?
Not with me.
Okay. All right. So you had quit having contact with her?
Yes.
I'll pass witness, Your Honor.
All right, anybody else have any further questions for Ms. Hodge?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, Mr. Trout, who's your next witness? And if she needs to leave us, is everybody okay with Ms. Hodge logging out at this point?
Yes, ma'am. I have no objection.
No objection.
No objection.
All right, Ms. Hodge, you're free to go. Thank you. All right. Who's your next witness?
Michelle Silva, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Silva, if you'll raise your right hand for me.
And how are you familiar with that case?
I'm the permanency worker for the case.
And have you been throughout this case?
Yes.
When you first receive a case, what are your first steps? What do you do?
First thing I do is read over the case, get familiar with everybody involved, and call parents, introduce myself, call foster parents, introduce myself.
Okay. When you first got on the case, was child doing well?
Yes,
Was he doing well in his placement?
he was.
Okay. Were you able to get up with mom?
I was not.
Okay. Do you do family plans of service for parents?
I do.
Okay. And tell me what family plans of service are.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
Tell me what a family plan of service is.
Family plan of service are different services that parents will have to do, such as parenting, drug screens, OZAR assessments, psychosocials, if they have mental health, TPC, Texas Panhandle Centers, just different services such as that.
And are those done on a case-by-case basis depending on what the parent needs?
Correct.
And was that done in this case?
Yes.
Have you received the exhibits that I sent out today?
Yes.
Okay. Can you look at exhibit number 2?
Okay.
Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And is that the family plan of service that you generated for mom?
Yes.
Okay. And was this filed with the court?
Yes.
And what services did you ask for mom to do?
So for Jessica, I had her do a psychosocial. She had to have at least 6 months of employment, housing, and to keep into contact with me. She had to have parenting classes. She had to have 6 months of drug-free lifestyle. She had to complete an OZAR. She had to participate in domestic violence support groups. She had to do psychological assessment and 6 sessions of individual counseling. And then also she had to go to Texas Panhandle Centers for an assessment.
Okay. Were these family plans of service filed with the court on May 8th of 2024?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit number 2 is the family plan of service that Ms. Silva just testified to.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, petitioner's exhibit 2 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Silva, during the course of a case, after family plans are filed, are they made orders of the court?
They are.
And in this case, were they made in order of the court?
Yes.
Off the top of your head, can you tell me where, at what hearing those are made in order of the court?
That is at the initial perm.
Okay, or is it at the status?
I mean, excuse me, is the status.
Okay. And was that done in this case?
Yes.
Can you look at exhibit number 3?
Okay.
You recognize that?
Yes.
And what is that?
That's a status hearing order and notice of next hearing.
And were you present at that hearing?
Yes.
And the family plans of service were made in order at that hearing, correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit number 3. It's a copy of the file mark family or status hearing order that was just testified to.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
All right, exhibit 3 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Silva, can you look at exhibit number 4 for me?
Okay.
And can you tell me what that is?
That is amended family plan of service that was filed in the court.
Okay. And on this family plan of service, were you able to go over the family plan with mom?
Correct.
And did she
Oh.
sign?
She did sign.
Okay. And is that on page 9 of 13 in this exhibit?
Correct.
Okay. And that exhibit was filed with the court on August 15th of 2024?
Yes.
Your Honor, I would ask to admit exhibit number 4. It's the amended family plan that was signed by mom that was filed with the court and just testified to.
No objections.
No objection.
No objection.
No objection.
Petitioner's exhibit 4 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Silva, during the course of this case, did you have any contact with mom?
I did.
Okay. Was that often or sporadic?
Sporadic.
Okay. Do you know when the last time you had contact with mom?
I believe the last time I had contact with her was in September.
Okay. September of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. Did you reach out to her? Did she reach out to you?
I reached out to her.
Okay. Do you know where mom was at that time?
She was, I don't remember. If I believe she was staying behind the Dollar Tree.
Did you, when you made contact with her, was it on a phone or did you meet with her in person?
It was on a phone.
Okay. So in September, you're not sure if mom was still in Amarillo or not?
I'm not sure if she was or not. She did give me a location of where she was. She was not there.
Let me clarify that. You said she did give you a location of where she was, but she was not there when you went?
So in September, I attempted to meet with her on September 11, or excuse me, on October 11th was when I tried to meet with her. She didn't respond. I had went on leave. Amy Prater was the one that tried to attempt to meet with her in September, and she didn't give her a call back or a location of where she was. When I came back from leave, she told me she was on bail. When I went to, drove around there, she wasn't found.
Okay. And you haven't heard from her since then?
No.
Okay. During the course of this case, did mom ever, do you know whether she ever had a job?
She didn't.
Did mom complete the parenting classes?
She didn't.
Do you know whether she maintained a drug-free lifestyle?
No.
Did she participate? Excuse me. Did she participate in complete an OSAR?
She didn't.
Did mom ever attend the domestic violence support groups?
No.
Did she ever complete a psychological?
No.
Did she ever do any of her individual counseling?
No.
Did mom ever complete an assessment and participate with Texas Panhandle Centers?
She didn't.
During the course, did mom begin or complete any of her services?
No.
Okay. When was the last time mom has had visits with the child?
It was, she had one at the very beginning of the case, and then I was able to find her living behind Dollar General. I told her if, she wanted to start working services, I would let her see Joshua. I did set up a visit. She did come to the office and visited with Joshua that day for an hour, and that was the last day. The top of my head, I do not recall the date of that visit.
You said you have not heard from mom since September, October, correct?
Correct.
So is it fair to say mom has not reached out requiring about any visitations or how the child is doing?
She has not.
We've been in this case for right at a year now, correct?
Correct.
Has St. Francis, by the exhibits put in, which you've testified to, has St. Francis attempted to give mom services and work with mom in order to work toward reunification with the child?
Yes.
And has mom taken advantage of that?
Yes. She hasn't. I mean, it was sporadically whenever.
Mom has not worked toward reunifying with her child, correct?
No, she hasn't.
Okay. Do you know at this time, is mom able to provide any type of stability or safe place to live for the child?
No.
Okay. To your knowledge, is mom homeless at this time?
Yes.
Okay. And she was at your last contact with her?
Yes.
And mom has not had any visitations with the child in quite some time?
She hasn't.
Were you ever able to find the alleged father in this case?
I wasn't.
And we ran paternity registry searches, correct?
Correct.
And it came back that nobody had attempted to claim paternity of Joshua, correct?
Correct.
Your Honor, I'd ask to admit exhibit number 5 is the certificate of paternity registry search that was filed with the court, showing that nobody has made an attempt or to claim in paternity of the child.
Any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
Before we move further along with the father, I just want to have a couple questions for Ms. Silva real quickly. Ms. Silva, when you say that she was living behind a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, do you mean like she was in some structure that was behind that business, or was she living in a shed or on the street in the alley? Just clarify what you mean by that.
She was sleeping under a tree behind a Dollar Tree on 45th and Bell.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Trout, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. And have you been able to find any address or track down the alleged father, Henry Royce?
I have not been able to.
And in your conversations with mom, did she ever give you any idea of how to contact him?
No, she didn't.
Are you asking the court today? Well, let me back up. Where is the child placed right now?
He is in Minnesota, Claremont, Minnesota.
Okay. Is he placed with a sibling?
He is.
And is that sibling has that sibling been adopted, or is it just living with the family?
The sibling has been adopted by the family.
And is this family willing to adopt Joshua?
Yes.
Okay. And are they already licensed and ready to do that if that becomes available?
They are.
Okay. How is he doing in that placement?
He's doing really well.
Are they meeting all his medical needs?
They are.
Okay. Go ahead. You were supposed to say how he was doing.
He initially, when he was in a foster home, he was behind on his development and his goals. As a child, he was just recently tested by, it's kind of like an ECI program, but in Minnesota, and he is on level. Like he's doing really good.
So
Developmentally.
Just safe to say, since he's been at this current placement, he has flourished.
He has.
Are you today asking the court to terminate the parental rights of Jessica Davison as to the child Joshua, based upon failure to work services?
Yes.
Constructive abandonment?
Yes.
And the fact that the child tested positive for methamphetamines when he was first removed?
Yes.
Are you also asking that the court terminate the parental rights of the alleged father, Henry Royce, based upon the failure to register with the paternity registry?
Yes.
And do you believe that terminating parents' rights and allowing him to become available for adoption is in the best interest of that child?
It is.
I'll pass the witness, Your
Okay. Ms. Sapien?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Silva, throughout the life of this case, were you able to learn that my client, Ms. Davidson, had been previously deemed incompetent or incapacitated?
Yes.
Okay. And due to that, she was placed under a guardianship in the state of Minnesota. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Did you have any contact with her guardian, Dakota County conservators out of Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay. And were they able to give you any information on where Jessica may be located?
No, they weren't.
Okay. And because of that conservatorship, Miss Lucero was appointed in this case. Is that correct?
Correct.
I will pass the witness, Judge.
All right, Mr. Eldridge.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Trout, anything further of this witness?
I have nothing further, Your Honor. I don't know, did Miss Lucero, I don't know if you asked her about any questions.
Did I skip over you? I'm so sorry, Miss Lucero. My apologies.
No, you're good. I just have a couple of questions for Miss Silva. Thanks, Daniel. Miss Silva, when you stated that you met with Miss Davidson, I guess it was August of 2024, and you stated that she signed her amended family plan of service, right?
Yes. I'm not sure if it was in August.
Okay. I might have the date wrong, but so you were able to meet with her sometime to sign her amended plan of service, right?
Correct.
And how, at that point, how were you able to locate her, and where did you locate her?
So she had 2 phone numbers that I would usually call on. And anytime she ever called me, I would try to ask where she was and immediately go out to look for her.
Okay. And so you went out and met with her, and you reviewed this amended family plan of service?
Yes.
Okay. And you had some dealings with her prior to, you'd had some interactions with her prior to that time, right?
Correct.
Okay. And do you, and from those interactions, do you believe that she understood what you were reviewing with her?
Correct. Yes, she did.
Did you talk to her about what her plan was, like moving forward, whether or not she was going to be able to work these services or she was in a position to work the services?
I did.
And what was her response?
She wouldn't give me a response. It was usually she would ask how he was. I would talk to her about it. She said would always tell me she didn't have time. So I just went over the family plan. After that, she said, "Can I go now?" And so I couldn't keep her, so she would leave.
Okay. And as far as like if she was, unsheltered or homeless, where was the department, you or anybody from the department ever tell her, hey, if we understand you might have transportation issues, we can take you to and from these services. Did y'all tell her that?
Yes, I always tried to see if I could take her anywhere. She never wanted to go to any shelter. She didn't want to catch a disease or anything else. She didn't like to be around people. She would just, give me excuses.
Okay.
So I tried my best to get her to, somewhere in Amarillo, and she didn't want.
Okay. And whenever you had contact with her, you stated would she ask about Joshua?
She would.
Okay.
Mhm.
Did she ever discuss with you what kind of plan she wanted for him? I mean, did she ever specify anything to you about Joshua?
She was very limited on what she wanted to talk about. So she asked how he was, and that was basically all she wanted to talk about.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any further questions for Ms. Silva?
No, Your Honor.
Questions? Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Trout, you have any additional witnesses?
No additional witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Does the department rest?
Department rest.
All right then, Ms. Sapien?
No witnesses, Your Honor. Rest and close.
Okay, and Mr. Eldridge?
Same for me, Judge. No witnesses, and I rest and close.
Okay, Ms. Lucero, anything to present?
Your Honor, I don't have any witnesses. I did try to reach out to Ms. Davidson. I kept in touch with Ms. Sapien, trying to get contact information. The department had provided us with some phone numbers and email addresses. I did try to reach out to her at those, but I have not had contact with Ms. Davidson throughout the case.
All right, and do you also close?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, I close.
All right, Ms. Zavala. Any
No
witnesses?
witnesses, and I rest.
All right then, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation to make today?
I do, Your Honor. Joshua is doing very, very well. He's bonded with his family, with his brother, and he actually gets regular contact with extended family. I do believe it is in his best interest that parental rights be terminated at this time based on the evidence presented.
All right, thank you very much. At this time, and I do find by clear and convincing evidence that it is in the best interest of the child, Joshua, to terminate the parental rights between the child and his mother, Jessica Davidson, based on Texas Family Code Section 161.001, subsections B1, the D, E, N, and O grounds, and the best interest under subsection B2. I will also find by clear and convincing evidence it's in the best interest of the child to terminate the parental rights between the child and the alleged father, Henry Royce, based on his failure to register with the paternity registry, under Texas Family Code 161.002 subsection B3. I will name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the permanent managing conservator of Joshua. We will continue his placement. And for those that I'll at this time, I'll dismiss all court-appointed attorneys from the case, with the exception of Ms. Zavala, who will remain as the child's attorney and a guardian ad litem. Counsel, obviously, your de novo time frame does begin to run since I've rendered in court. And if you should be instructed to file a notice of appeal, please be sure you wait until a final order has been signed and adopted by the referring court before you do that. All right, for those still involved, we will have a review hearing on this case June 5th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. All right, thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.